So I'm now going to show you how to work the short row shaping, and for this pattern it uses the German short row technique. I've already worked the first 3 rows and I'm now working on short row 4, and you can see already I've done these increases here, these funny little bumped stitches, and those will all be clearly knitted across on the final round, and then they will all be incorporated into the knitting. But you can see it at the moment how it looks. We've got a deeper yoke section like a wedge, which we're creating for the back section of our yoke, and this is the front. So that's the purpose of the German short row, to give that different shaping. So I'm now on short row 4, and I've just knitted from the marker 18 stitches because I'm knitting size C. So I've knitted 18 and I'm now going to work a German short row on the right side. Now for this actual pattern, she doesn't use an extra abbreviation, which is DS, double stitch, which you often get with German short rows. But all she indicates is it tells you to turn. So first of all, we're going to just turn the work. So that's turn. But now we need to just work the stitch. If I just purled that back, I wouldn't be creating the German short row shaping. So I now need to just work this stitch before I purl back. So with the yarn always sitting at the front, I'm going to slip this stitch purlwise. And then with the yarn, I'm just going to draw that over the top of the needle. So it looks like I'm creating a double stitch, like a DS here. You can see the double loop. And then just to create the tension, I need to bring that back round through the middle because I now need to purl back. So that's one of my increases done for the shaping. And now the pattern tells me I've turned, so I'm now purling back to the beginning of round marker. And then I will knit after the marker and show you how to do it on the other side. So let me just purl to the beginning of round marker. Then it tells me to, when I get there, slip the marker. Then I need to purl for my size 18. There's my 18 purled, and I can see if you look here again, we've got those 3 short row increases here as well, and they look rather strange, but they'll be sorted out as well. So I've got my 18 purl. So at this point I now need to turn the work, so it's the other way, and bring the yarn forward, because you always have to work the German short rows with the yarn sitting at the front to begin with. Now I need to work this stitch. So I'm going to go in, slip it purlwise, and then with this yarn I'm going to pull that gently and pull it over the needle like I did with the other stitch, the purl stitch. Now this never looks quite as neat as the other one, it looks a little bit wonky and distorted. It's fine, that's what you need to do. So you just pull that gently over and then get into a tension position, because you now need to knit across. So I'm now going to knit to the middle or the beginning of round marker, and then I'm just going to show you how to then close the short row gaps as they appear. So I'm coming up to the final round of the short rows. So this is coming up to my beginning of round marker, so I'm going to slip the marker. Now the next round tells me to knit a full round closing the short row gaps. So as I get to them, I'll show you how to do that. And it's very simple. Really, you just need to think about the increased stitches as one stitch. So I can see the first one is coming up, and they're also very easy to see. If you do the other technique, which is called wrap and turn, it's always quite tricky to actually see where you've made the increases. Okay, here's that first one coming up. So I'm just going to knit my stitch as normal, and then with my needle just go into the beginning of it, underneath, and knit it together. Keep the tension and keep knitting, and then that has closed the gap. There's another one coming up to show you. So a couple more stitches, and again just place the needle underneath and knit it off the needle. One more coming up, and knit it like one big stitch. I've got the final one to come. And then let me just show you how that looks. So you can see now all those gaps have gone, and you've created this lovely wedge shape of shaping. And then you'll just carry on the round, and you'll do the same way of knitting when you arrive at the other increased stitches on this side to take you right back to the beginning.